to the Rise Up Show! How are you doing, everybody? So great to have you here. And today it's a special day because this is a special episode 470. In a minute now, there's a guest that comes along. And I'm so excited and pumped up about it to host that person because I got to know her through the Graziosi group where I got to meet her there, and I was astonished by her dedication and beautiful soul. She has been through dark times after a car accident and that changed it all. Now she's helping moms to become unstoppable in their workplace, in their business. And recently she released a new book that takes us through that journey of gratitude and how powerful gratitude can be in helping to progress and move along to the next level. And the name of the book is Did You Say Thank You Today? And we will talk today also about her new book, about the process of it, about how to become unstoppable by applying the gratitude in your life and demolish that procrastination. So Abby should be with us every minute now. And I see that she's jumping on the stream. Let's bring her in, everybody.
It's on my phone. I'm on my phone. Okay, because I didn't have it on the computer.
Great to have you here. We are live. And I already did the introduction, told them how the dedication actually prove on and how much you actually are such an amazing and beautiful soul that you're doing so much. Guys, we are starting in a second now after the intro, so be with us.
Hey, everybody.
We're back, so let me introduce Abby Dishi. I hope I pronounced your name right.
Yes, that's great, Eden. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank
you.
When
we talked, I saw your passion and your consistency and determination paid off. And I'm sure that your story can inspire and impact so many people. So how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank God. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing great. I see people joining in. I see Facebook user says good morning. Good morning. Who is it? Let me know. Comment below the name. Who is watching with us? And what is it that you're holding there?
I just lost you 1 second. The screen. Hold on a minute. I was holding my book. Can you guys see? I can't see you right now. Hold on a minute.
You're frozen a bit. Technology, it happens, and you know, guys, it happens for the best of us. We will get through those difficulties for sure. Are you back with us?
Okay, so yes. Can you see me?
You're a bit frozen at the moment. I hope other people see. Oh, it's Veronica is here with us. Veronica, so great to have you here. Abby, are you here with us?
Yeah. Do you see me?
Okay, from some reason, it split the screen a couple of times. 1 second. Okay. We are in the screen that works. I don't know what the hell happened. Oh, and Lizzie joined us as well. Hey, Lindsay, good to see you here. So, Abby, what is that you're holding there? Abby? Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3, Abby. Oh, you're mute. Okay, 1 second. Unmute your mic.
Okay. Is that better?
Did you unmute? 1, 2, 3. Oh, guys, this is so awesome. So many obstacles, but this is how tech is. Wonderful and weird at the same time. Oh, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. So while Abby tried to figure out to unmute because something weird happened here, I think she's on now. Abby? Okay, let's see what the hell is going on. What the hell? Can you hear me? Guys, so sorry for the difficulties with the stream here. So we have Lindsay and we have Johnny as well. So awesome to have you here, guys. So Abby went out and she will be back again. Some tech difficulties, as you all know. If you have any questions for Abby, put it down below, that we will get ready for them at the end of the interview. And
can you hear me?
Oh, you're back.
Yeah,
awesome.
Here we go.
Yes, awesome.
Okay. Are we good? We're good. Okay, we got it.
Yeah, very good.
Technology.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay.
It happens for the best of us.
Shoot.
I see that you're holding the book. Thank you today. That's your book that you actually published.
That's correct. It's published on Amazon. It's called Did You Say Thank You Today? And it's all about gratitude. I wrote this book this past November 2020 was 40 years since I broke my leg in a horrible car accident. It was miraculously saved, and I decided to share my gratitude with the world. And actually, in the pandemic, I sat down to write it, and I said, you know what? Instead of getting negative and hysterical and afraid, I am going to only focus on good things and gratitude. And I write about many different arenas of gratitude and appreciation in the book, not just my own personal experience.
So beautiful. 40 years in one book, and how much gratitude is so powerful. I love it, because when we talk about gratitude, a lot of people, I myself as well included, I was discarded the gratitude as something that, okay, so what will it happen? What will it do to me? And when I started that routine of gratitude in the morning, it helps actually so much, because what happened is we rewire our brain to actually focus on the good things, not on the negative things, because our mind is actually wired to think negative. It comes from a primal instinct that where back then there was a really saber-toothed tiger that can eat you, and today it's not that. So it's still there. It's still the wire to negative, but we're rewiring with gratitude. And I love that you actually wrote a whole book around that and the 40 years experience. So Abby, what actually was the moment that you decide to write the book?
So I decided literally to write it in the summer, a few months after the pandemic started. Really, actually in May, I decided I'm going to sit down and write it. And like I said, I just wanted to turn any kind of negativity or hysteria or fear, because we were all afraid of this crazy plague all of a sudden, what's going on in the world. And I said, and okay, so we're in lockdown, things aren't normal. I can either get upset about everything, which I can't control this at all, it's way beyond all of us, or not, or I can just center in and focus in on what's good. And it's just like you said, it's just about rewiring the brain, like doing Tony Robbins priming exercise, is amazing.
Yeah,
it's like a muscle. You just prime your muscle, prime your gratitude.
It is like a muscle, definitely.
Practice, yeah. So that's what prompted me to do it, and I said it's got to be done by November, because that's 40 years. That was my deadline. And I just sat down and did it. And, sometimes the more you write and the more you really are your authentic self, the words just come. It's not about impressing anyone. It's not a grade. It's not an achievement. It's just, it's an achievement, but that's not why I did it. I did it because I wanted to share my message with the world.
Oh, beautiful. Share your message with the world and actually show the power of gratitude. and how strong it is,
Mhm.
especially in those times of the pandemic when we all got forced into be staying at homes and not going
Mhm.
with friends. And actually, it brought more blessing in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a lot of shit that's going on, but it also was a lot of blessing in how I see it, because we got to spend more
Mhm.
time with ourselves, understanding the family, really appreciate and be
Mhm.
grateful of the regular things like getting the hell to a restaurant. Who would thought that this normal activity like won't be allowed to do? So even those smallest
Yeah,
things
right.
brought us so much gratitude with just that. And I love that it brought so much, and there's a huge power to it. And I have a question for you. Like, how did you deal with the fears of doubt, if you had fears and doubt while you write the book? Because I'm sure when you had writing the book, maybe something popped up, something like maybe I can do it, or it's not good enough, or maybe what other people say, something must came up. We'll love to know if you can share with us what came up and how did you actually overcome it? What
So that's a
was,
really good question.
yeah.
Um, Honestly, I've loved writing all my life, and in fact, my first chapter in here, it's called "Just Write," because my father, may he rest in peace, was very encouraging all the time about expression. Just get it on the page, and I didn't grow up with Facebook and Twitter and cell phones and everything. And it was much more about just get your ideas out. And I wasn't so concerned. And when I was writing the book, I wasn't so concerned really. I was more concerned about keeping the deadline for myself, like get it out on time. And I was very focused. I was very, very focused about it. Occasionally things did come up of, well, how am I going to get this all done? Am I going to, what are people going to think if they don't tap into this? I'm not going to lie, it did come up a little bit, but I pretty
Hmm.
much quieted that voice because I said that what I can help people, that my desire to help people dominated that fear. And
So,
this is linked to my ideas about mothering and my workshop about mothering and helping moms be the super moms at work. So
ooh, beautiful. So you actually kept with that desire
mhm.
because was a huge kind of why into it that kept you
Yeah,
going, although the fears crawling up from time to time.
it's like Tony Robbins says, what's wrong is always available, right? But when you focus and
Mm-hmm.
you intentionally focus on what's good, and like you say, it's our primal instinct to worry, and okay, we needed that, but we don't have saber-toothed tigers running after us right now. So when you catch yourself and say, I don't need to have that part of my brain, that fearful part of my brain be operating more. It's passe. Like I don't need that. It's not relevant right now. It really works. It really works. And I also remember, I don't remember if it was him or someone else saying, can't have gratitude and fear at the same time in your brain. It's like oil and water, literally. They don't mix. So the more you intentionally appreciate the world around you, yourself, your children, your workers, your family, whoever it is, then you operate differently about everything else. So it's literally like exercise. If you guys
It's
exercise
literally
out
like
there, ladies, men,
this.
yeah.
Yes, it's like we're going to the gym. We're building the muscle.
Yeah,
Just the gym is here.
exactly.
And
Exactly,
beautiful,
for sure.
beautiful. I see, because I'm also here on the Facebook with the people, and you just got Lindsay that said, "Just order your book." That is
Oh,
awesome.
I'm so happy.
Look so much how you
Thank you.
bring impact with the gratitude. Amazing, Lindsay. I love it.
And I love your energy. You have great energy. Always positive. Always positive. Amazing. Amazing.
Always, always, always. That's also power of the gratitude. It helps a lot to keep that energy and momentum even when we're feeling low, because bad shit always happen. Like, do I'm always like that happy and that? No, I do have those moments when I'm down. But the thing is to catch yourself fast, not let it
Hmm.
for months and years, and
Hmm.
actually get the hell out of there. by using gratitude, by dancing, moving the physiology, and so many more actions that we can do, and habits, actually get the hell out of that moments. So how did you actually cap the momentum? Like, still writing and lead yourself and others by finishing the book and put it out there, and your workshop, and helping more mom to become unstoppable. How did you cap that momentum? Because a lot of people down the road say, oh my God, that is so hard to write, that's so hard to build a workshop, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, blah 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 blah. So I'm sure you had a few of those moments. So how did you keep that momentum? What helped you to break through? And from some reason, yeah, okay, you're back. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either, but that's why we have a sense of humor. That's the other thing. That was one of my things I also learned much more in this pandemic, is really have to have a sense of humor about everything. We just often take ourselves too seriously, and not everything is so important, which is, I think humor and gratitude are linked. I really do. I think you just see more, when you're full of gratitude, you just see the lightness in things, as opposed to, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't know. I'm so full of fear. No, it doesn't have to be that way. So it comes up a lot in the mothering, which is definitely something, only as a parent did I learn that not taking things that seriously, you're a better parent. You just can move through the day, and you can also model that for your kids. My kids are bigger. I have 5 kids, 16 to 25. So I have a lot to say about that, mothering. Yeah.
Oh, nice. As a mother, that's also something that I'm sure a lot of fears came up from time to time, and you still kept going, leading your kids by actually be the leader, writing the book, doing workshop, helping more moms out there. That's what actually shows as a leader. That's being the example.
Yeah, and I also want to say about being a leader, I feel like as a mother, you definitely make tons of mistakes. I made tons of mistakes, and I still make tons of mistakes, but the concept of making a mistake becomes more comfortable and acceptable, as opposed to, I think when we're younger and in school, we're like, oh, you got a bad grade on a test, or you didn't do that right, or at work. That the most important job is being a mom, and you make a zillion mistakes, but you just get used to it. Like, big deal. Or your kids see they make mistakes, they still love you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So the whole definition of making a mistake becomes also lighter. I use the word lighter a lot, and
strong word.
Yeah, for sure. So my goal is to help women take their know-how and skill and experience, and because they're a mother, and transfer it to the workplace. There's things that I only know because I'm a mom. It doesn't matter where I went to school, and I did. I went to school. I went to law school, and I got all kinds of degrees and everything. Nothing prepares you the way being a parent prepares you for things: influence, negotiation, time management, decision making, task allocation, letting go when it's not done the way you want it done. I mean, that's like, all the time, basically. Just letting go. These are all things that CEOs, and I am addressing particularly women who run companies or CEOs. That's what you have to do. You have to have a command of all those things, knowing that you can also make mistakes, and it's okay. Yeah.
It's okay to make mistakes. As a mom, I'm sure, like you mentioned, you did lots of mistakes. We all do mistakes all the time.
I still do. But
responsibility and grow from it. Not blaming yourself, but grow from it.
Right. And that's also linked to gratitude, because the more gratitude you have for yourself, the more room you allow yourself to make mistakes. And you're modeling that for your kids. I think kids more often do what you do more than what you say. It's very important. So a lot of people can say, it's okay to make mistakes, but then they'll be afraid to show their kid they burnt something on the stove. Show your kids your mistakes. Say, I messed up, maybe not in the kitchen or something else. Like, I messed up, I made the wrong decision, I'm sorry. There's a million things that we do, but we also can just show it to them, and then they learn. Oh, okay, then they go on their way, and it's okay to make mistakes. So I'm sure everybody can relate to this.
You actually show them what is to make a mistake, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing, and
Right.
take it, learn from it. And that's also being a leader. Make that habit kind of root inside your kids. And this is amazing. Veronica says here, yes, nothing prepares you to become a parent. That's definitely for sure. And when you become a parent, something that I love that you said here, Abby, is when you are a parent, yes, you're making a lot of mistakes, but you have tons of skills that you are not aware that you develop, especially as a mom or a father. You didn't actually develop, you don't know where to it, because negotiating, you all the time negotiating, selling to your kids, like do your homework, do the kitchen, makes the garden, whatever it is, like you actually selling, you negotiating with them all
Right.
the time. You have that skills of delegation. Hey, you do this, you do that, especially if you have a couple of kids.
Sure. And yeah, it's definitely true.
And you know what makes me sad? It's a lot of women don't see it, because I grew up with a single mom. And as I grew up with a single mom, I saw her, like how she all the time striving and doing, and I learned a lot from her. And I appreciate her and love her. And sometimes it was so hurtful to me that she didn't see her potential, her light in her. Today she see it. Today she see it, because when you're transforming, you're helping others transform as well. So now she see the light in her. And that is also my mission, to actually make people and women's and people to see, and entrepreneurs to see the potential inside of them, that they can freaking do it. They have the skills in them.
For sure. And it's like a baby. If a baby would analyze and get upset every time they fell down, they would never walk. I mean, we've all heard that example. We all know that. But when you see it every day, and they don't even get upset about it. They don't get upset. They fall down. They get up. They're not analyzing anything. Yeah. That's why also being around children is quite refreshing. And in terms of looking at mistake, they don't even know the word mistake. I think I would call mistake an opportunity, actually, an opportunity. In fact, I remember years ago I was giving a presentation, and I remember that someone mentioned to me that they had a friend, and her dad would actually post his mistakes on a bulletin board, like in front of his family every week. And he taught his kids the power of making mistakes by doing that. I remember Sarah Blakely talked about that when Tony Robbins was interviewing her, about her mistakes when she was younger, that her father also did that, wanted to hear about her failures. And I thought, well, that's so powerful. But yeah, this is something that I just think is very important. And again, linked to gratitude. When you appreciate yourself, you don't judge yourself. And then you also don't judge your kids. So you create space for yourself, and then you model for your kids how to create space for other people, which is something that they take with them in their life, in their toolkit for life. So it's really important how we wrap our head around the word mistake.
Yes, how we wrap up the mistakes as learning curve, as opportunities. Lindsay mentioned here, love it. Mistakes is not failure. Mistakes is part of learning. So true. So true. Mistakes equals opportunity. I love it. Guys, you're on fire today. So that is so true. And you just remind me a story. Actually, I haven't shared that before. I will really quickly share this. As you know, guys, as you know, everybody, I actually injured 10 years ago while I was in the army. I have a CRPS, that's a chronic regional pain syndrome, walking on crutches. While all the time, doctor told me I will never walk again and cut your leg off and all that crap. Like you said, when a kid fall down and try to walk again, so they don't rationalize it. They keep on going. So when I did my first steps, it will sound ridiculous. I really forgot how to walk. Literally forgot how to walk. So the first step was like this. Walk and boom. like that, if over
Wow.
and over. I remember my physiotherapist there. She was like a mentor to me, one of my mentors, and she was there and actually told me that you're learning how to walk. It's okay to fail. It's okay to bump your head over and over again. Make sure to keep on walking. Otherwise, you will never walk again. And I remember those
Mhm.
words really engraved in me to keep on going, keep on growing in a way. And that's what's inspired me to keep on that, because it's so true. If
Mhm.
I will decide that, hey, that's too painful, oh my God, I fall a few times, I injured a few times, then I will say, wait, okay, I'm give up. Let's cut the leg and never walk again.
Mhm.
Today I'm walking over 500
Mhm.
steps.
Yeah,
So
that's
also, I was all
what
the
you're.
time grateful for
Mhm.
having her, for having the good physiotherapist. I got a lot other bad physiotherapists down the road, but I was so grateful to meet her. I was so grateful that she was part of that process. And when we are grateful, we see the other side. We can give more as well. So I love what you mentioned as well about all that way.
Yeah, and I really love what you said. Also, it's good that you told your brain to direct your body, because that's also related to momentum. You asked, about
Mhm.
when we all talk about momentum. How do we keep momentum going? We instruct the way you instruct anyone else. You tell a driving instructor tells you what to do. Any kind of instructor, teacher, anything tells you what to do. So I like to tell my clients sometimes, like, you talk to your subconscious. You have a
Yeah.
conversation with your subconscious, literally. And this is what you put into it. Also, Bob Proctor talks about that. What do you put in your brain? You can decide what you put in your brain. And I think we don't grow up with that idea unless someone tells us that idea. We grow up with saying, well, it's the information I get from the outside, from school. This is what I'm supposed to learn and regurgitate and everything. No, that's really not how it works. It's you decide what you're going to think about, what you're going to tell people, how you're going to lead, how you're going to teach. So that's how we keep the momentum going. Talk to our brain.
Drop the mic. So true. So true. It's what you're feeding the brain with. It's what you're feeding the brain with. Exactly like diet. It's what you're putting in. If you put
Mm-hmm.
bad food, you will feel bad. If you put good food, you will feel good. So same with thoughts. What you put in, that's what you get.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, what are the top 3 habits that you developed that help you the most? Well, I guess gratitude is one of them. Uh,
Yeah.
how does it help?
So exercise. Every morning I am religious about aerobics and walking. And now that things are more open now, so here in Israel, so pool, I go swimming now. Absolutely every day I exercise. There's no question in my mind that when we are physiologically pumped and fit, our thoughts are different. It's easier to create the thoughts that you want. It's easier to make decisions. Think about it. I think it was also Tony Robbins who said, if you're, when you're in a good mood and you just exercise and someone asks you a question or make a decision, your decision will be different than if you're in a bad mood and I come up to you and say, well, what do you think?
Exactly.
I'm not going to want to talk to you then. You're not going to make a decision then. So it's physiologically raised. So one thing is
Mhm.
exercise every day.
Ooh,
Also,
I want exercise
honestly,
every day.
prayer. Literally, there's something beyond me. I just don't know what to do sometimes. Just let go. I don't know. Help me out
Mm,
here. Because I think that that's very related to letting go of control. Sometimes you just don't know what to do. And you're not going to know in the next minute. You can ask people and they can be helpful. But I feel like just recognizing a greater force beyond me. And then when I'm quiet, I get quiet. I also talk about that in my book, Getting Quiet. Quiet, you are able to then access that stillness inside and that voice, which I believe is linked to a greater power than us. And then you get an answer. So you also get perspective. That's the third thing. I really try to just take myself out and say, like I said earlier, take things lightly, get some perspective. It's a habit. It's a habit.
mhm, mhm. Get some perspective. I love it. It's so true. Like when you're in the stillness, that's how you can get more out there and get more energy. And of course, the exercise, moving, the physiology. Like when object in motion stay in motion. So if you're staying without motion, guess what happened? Like, okay, I'm binging on Netflix. You have a lot of energy? No. But
No,
when you
but
move your body,
yeah, yeah,
exercise,
it's
you're
important. It's
getting
very important.
that momentum, and stillness is so powerful. I, for example, love to journal, so I stop everything, just me and my notebook, my pen. It gets so much power and momentum. It's like you're coaching yourself in a way, and you're getting much more
Mhm.
faster to where you want to. So
Mhm.
stillness, whew, a good one. And of course, gratitude.
Yeah, priming exercise. I do the priming exercise, Tony Robbins priming exercise. It rewires the brain. I also think that it's important to focus, to keep up the stillness, because the world is so busy and noisy, and we're
Mm,
so used to getting tons of information from the outside that we sometimes have to find our voice. And I'm a big proponent of find your voice, listen to it, hear it for longer than 1 second. Like really, 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 really hear it. And that's a habit. Again, that get in the habit of doing that. Even if you don't like what you're saying sometimes, you might not even like, you're trying to find a decision, you're trying to find an answer to something. And we sometimes we try to run away and distract ourselves and get busy and moving and noise. That's not the way. That's not the way. The way is center, quiet, and then you can
mm.
find your own gratitude more.
Oh, so good. And then also the law of attraction comes because there's abundance around you, because you are focusing, you're rewiring your brain to actually focus on the good and not on the negative, and
Mm.
find your voice. So, so, so good. When you find your voice, that's how you can impact more. That's how you can lead more, move more, negotiate more, bring more people in, help more people out, and serve more people out there. So much good.
For
So,
sure. For sure.
what kept you going and understand that this is your passion? That's what you really want to do. Because, when we talk, and we talked several times, like, I can see that passion and that amazing energy that you're bringing. You're so lit up. And right now I see you're lit up. Like, how did you cap that fire keep on going there?
I just love being a mom. I just love it. It's like I can't even describe it. I can't even put it into words. I feel like it is the biggest blessing in the universe. Like there is nothing more important to me than that. And I feel just incredibly blessed that I have these wonderful kids, and I
You're a wonderful mom, wonderful kids.
I just love it. It's like it's an amazing thing, and I want to help other women understand and feel how special that is, because a lot of
Mm,
times, women say, "Oh, I'm just a stay-at-home mom," or in the workplace, I don't know why I'm not getting paid like men. I should be. They come often from a point of not appreciating themselves, or thinking that the world around them is not appreciating them. And I'm saying, you know what? It's up to you what you exude to people. It's up to you how you look at that. If you take your skill, like I said earlier, your skill, your experience, your insights, because you're a mother, other people will also appreciate that, and you can transfer that then to whatever arena you're in, your workplace, your even online. Even online, communication is even more important now. And so all these things I mentioned before, influence, decision making, time management, even more, you have to be able to do that. And so I have this passion of helping people communicate, engage, articulate, all things that you learn only as a mom.
so good. So true. Like when you're saying, like, I'm just a stay-at-home mom, it's so down drainer, just the words, because words have so much meaning to it that
Right.
it can get you like twitched and actually drain your energy. If I will say right now, a butt, that's a nice butt, right? No one cringe, no one
Right.
like twist. But if I will say that's a nice ass, like everybody, what? Right? Because then you're like
Right.
cringing. Ass. Whoa, what? What did the hell he said right now? Like, oh my God. Right? Just that word the meaning we give to it like can drain
Right.
our energy so much.
Right.
Can drain
It's
our
true.
energy.
It's absolutely true.
I'm just a stay-at-home mom. Come on, you're a stay-at-home leader, not a stay-at-home mom. Stay-at-home leader.
Right. Right.
Freaking
There's
lead your
no,
kids.
you're, and also I just want to say, it's, first of all, what you said is so true. And also I just want to say, in one of my workshops a few years ago, I had a group of students and I was asking them, who decided what to put on a resume? Why do you put, why? Well, you put your grade point average, what you do at your extracurricular activities. Why don't we put, I'm really empathetic. I'm really good at having my 4-year-old talk to his 2-year-old sister nicely. I mean, there's myriads of examples. Like, now my kids are bigger, but I'm saying, why don't we put on a resume? I would create a mommy resume, quite frankly. I mean, it's we don't need to only have what society says is important, what your achievements were and how many awards you got and your GPA. Your GPA is no indication of your application of knowledge. And like Tony and Dean always talk about, knowledge is not power. It's the application of that knowledge. It's power. You need to know what to do. And again, mothers apply their knowledge every single day, every single minute. I can give you an example.
And we have some amazing moms
Live.
that are watching us right now, and there are incredible leaders. There are incredible moms with tons of skills.
I'm sure. I want to mention one thing that the other day I did a Facebook Live, and I'm going to start doing a series of them. I'm going to address this issue more, but one of the things I mentioned was when you take, for example, the skill of influence, okay, which is Ed Milet talks about this, that if there was one skill you had to choose, let's say, as an entrepreneur, you need to have influence, correct? Mm-hmm. So a little bit frozen. Can you hear me?
No, you're okay. You're okay. I'm hearing you well. Guys, let us know if if it's frozen at your side. Let us know. Comment below. Let us know if you hear well, see well, something is not right. Please let us know.
Okay. It's a bit of an echo. Now I can hear you. Anyway, let's say you're sitting on a park bench, your kids are playing in the sandbox, and you're talking to your friend, okay? Also on the park bench, and you're having a really good conversation, and you're both having a good time, and your kids are also having a good time. It's a nice day out, but then, the sun starts to set, it starts getting chilly, and you need to start heading back. So what do? How do you tell your child we need to go back? I mean, it's very easy to insist and then they have a temper tantrum and cry. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how do you do it in a way where you influence them, okay, to do what you need them to do without them crying, without them screaming.
Because you
could say, you can't. Well, there's different things you can say. I made your favorite thing for dinner. I invited your friend over. We're going to talk to grandma later. There's lots of things you can say to cajole them, right, to. So that's an example of you have to use your influence. So when you're a CEO, you also have to use your influence. Okay, what if your team is doing something that you don't think is a great idea? It's not going to get the job done the way you think, but you want to influence them, but you don't want to argue with them, and you don't want to cut them down. You want to appreciate their opinion, but you do see that there's a better way to do it. So you take your influence as a mother from the millions of situations. I just gave one situation, but there are many, many more, and I teach that in my workshop. I go over each facet, like I said, influence, decision-making, time management, skill, task allocation, decision-making. I go over all those things in my workshops, but you need to use that skill and transfer it to your workplace. Now, if mothers would understand and appreciate and feel that gratitude about themselves, I have all the knowledge in the world to do this. And like you said, I have to change the vocabulary. I'm not just a stay-at-home mom. I'm this amazing stay-at-home leader. I am a team leader. That's what a mother is. She is a team leader. She's definitely a CEO, no question about it, but she does much more than the average. She's in charge of all the operations, all the management, everything. So I can go on, but these are just some examples of what I teach.
Yeah, definitely. That's a stay-at-home leader, like we mentioned, like change the meaning of the words. And by actually bringing that to the surface, for example, you said negotiating, like bring the kids and influence them to come over, like that's negotiation right there. And also you teach the kid that if they do something good, they get rewarded. So exactly like in ourselves, if we are doing something good in our business, we got to reward ourselves and also get more momentum. So it's so critical.
Right.
And that subject really hit homes with me when you talk about stay-at-home mom, and when I see that they're not thinking good about themselves, because they should appreciate themselves so much because they're such incredible. Like, I'm not a father at the moment, and I will not be a mom. But being a mom have more responsibilities, have more connection to the kids in a way, because hey,
Yes.
you brought them. And
Yeah, connection is definitely.
power, you have so much power there that a lot don't see that in themselves. And I love that you bring that up, because
Yeah,
there
to me,
should be
it's so
a mom
obvious.
resume. There should be a mom resume, definitely.
Yes. I mean, it's if I don't even think we could. I think we'd be running off the page if I asked any mother in the world, wherever she is. It doesn't matter what race, religion, country. We all have things in common. We all know what you just said is so true. There's so much responsibility, connection. Yes, of course, fathers also have the connection, but yes, we brought them into the world, and there's even, you see even jokes on Facebook sometimes. Mother's reaction. My daughter showed this to me a few years ago. Mother's reaction to their child's cut. Father's reaction. Kid's reaction. The mother gets really upset. The father's like, oh, really? I don't know. I didn't know. No, that's just a joke. But I mean, there's so much connection. There's so much connection, and our heart is in everything. So when we bring that to our work, imagine how your productivity goes up. Imagine how your profits skyrocket, because you bring not just momentum, you bring a huge amount of self-confidence in. If you light everything up, you understand the different love languages. I remember Justine mentioned that to me one time. The different love languages are so important. Also, when you use with your employees, and we do that all the time as a mom, our kids are different. So what speaks to one child doesn't speak to the other one necessarily. And you have to know that. You have to know how to get to each person, how to hear them, how to help them, how to engage them, how to be there, pick up the pieces. If they make mistakes, if they're upset, it's okay. Or if they go through tough times, the way that you connect to each child is different. So it's the same thing at work. The way that you connect to your team is different. So these are just some of the things. Again, yeah.
Lindsay mentioned here something like moms are heroes, and this is so beautiful. Mom are heroes, definitely they're heroes. They're leaders. They're freaking incredible. I love that conversation so much. Okay, so Abby, what was, let's say, your top 3 limiting beliefs that stopped you? Not that stopped you, a 3 limiting belief that stopped you back then and you overcome today. If it was in the writing or making the workshop, what was those 3 top limiting beliefs that could stop you and then you overcome them?
So I think I had what a lot of people have in the beginning. I felt like imposter syndrome a little bit, like, who am I to do this? But then I turned that around. I said, I am doing this because I'm a mom. Like, it's whatever the limiting belief is, you just turn it on its head. You literally turn it around and say, this is why I can do this because I thought about it. If it came to my brain, I can do it. Another limiting belief was, are people really going to do what I'm talking about? Are they just, there's so much information out there. What's going to be different about what I say? How am I going to be distinct? Because I was worried about that in the beginning. But then I didn't really worry about that after, because I said, I know that what I have to say is very distinct because I'm making that bridge between mommyhood and work. And yes, as who just wrote in, If it came into my brain, I can do it. That's exactly it. It means that I'm on this earth. I feel like I am on this earth to get this message out. It is not, oh, it's just like a nice idea. No, this is what. So again, in the beginning, I had that limiting belief, and then I got over it. The third limiting belief is I'm not going to get clients. You know, there's other people are going to do other things. How am I going to get clients? What am I going to do? And then I said, but no, the same, that fear came up when I wrote the book too, a little bit. Oh my God, what if I'm not a bestseller? Do I have to be a bestseller? Who's going to buy my book? Not enough people. And then I all of a sudden said, my book is going to reach whoever it's going to reach. I don't have this pressure. I don't need to be a bestseller. I don't need, why do we have to be a bestseller? Who said that? That's a societal thing. I don't need to do that. Whoever it's going to reach, it will reach. Because I know, because I'm so passionate about the message.
Stress. Ooh,
yeah, so there's no stress about that. If you're writing because you want to share yourself, your authentic self, then whoever is supposed to meet that authentic self will meet me. It's fine. I'm not worried.
Exactly. Oh, I love it. That's so true. First of all, you actually lower the stress by saying, I don't need to be a bestseller. I want to maybe, but I don't need to. It's not the need. You don't like in that need. When we're in that neediness, what happens is we actually put it aside. Like we even put it even further away. For example, and I'm sure you women have that tons of times when a man approach and he was like so obsessive. Oh, after one call, like, oh my God, come on, call me. Why are you not answering? Oh, where you are? And then he brings tons of chocolates, tons of things, tons of that. Then like, what the hell? Whoa, chill, man, chill. That's too much. Like you feel that need from man, and like, oh my God, that's too much. So same goes here when it's like I need to be a bestseller. That's where like all that neediness come from, and you even repel it. You repel it instead of attract it.
You also, I think it's also linked to letting go of ego. Another huge thing you have to do as a mother. You need to let go of your ego. It's not about right. It's not about me. When you're a mother, all mothers understand this. You need to take care of somebody else. So again, when you sit in the park and talk to your friend, you have to stop talking to your friend because you need to go home. Give your child dinner, give them a bath, get them to go to sleep, read them a story. So when it's not about you, you really learn, again, it's a habit. You develop the practice of putting your ego at the doorstep. And when you put your ego at the doorstep, it helps many other areas of life. Again, with the book, why do you have to be a bestseller? That's an ego thing.
So true, putting the ego aside, and also the imposter syndrome. And you said, hey, I got the idea, so that means I can do it. Instead of actually focusing on, am I successful? Am I that? Can I do it? Like all that bullshit that we feed ourselves. Instead of that, you said, hey, I have the idea. That means I can freaking do it. And you did it. Big time.
It's also, it's for church. It's also like, what measuring stick are we using? Another thing you learn as a mother, when your kid's painting a picture, they're not comparing it until they learn that bad habit in school, let's say. But when they're little and they do a watercolor, they're not comparing it to anyone else. We learn that along the way as adults, but that's wrong, that barometer. So that's how you let go of your stress and your ego. You don't need to compare yourself to anything else. That's learned, so we can unlearn that. You unlearn that as a mom also, and then you model that for your kids. So
unlearn this and learn new things. Ooh, empty your cup, like Mr. Miyagi says.
Yeah.
Empty your cup.
For sure.
Oh,
for sure.
I love it so much. Oh, we got a question here from Veronica. So Veronica asked, what is example of how to get some perspective?
How to get perspective? Very good question. So what I like to do is a few things. One is, like I said earlier, is to get still. Okay, when I get
still,
literally physically still, like in a quiet place, I don't talk to people. I don't listen to things, no TV, no radio, no nothing. I get literally still. Okay, And then I breathe deeply. Usually at least 10 deep breaths. Okay. And then I write in my journal what exactly is bothering me. Okay. That's the first thing I do. The second thing I do is I say, is this going to bother me in 10 years?
Oh, I
What's
love
the
that.
answer to that question? Am I going to remember it? Am I going to remember this? Is the other person, if it's involving someone else, is that person going to remember it? Because when you, I think I've heard this term from someone else. It's called reverse engineering. When you start backwards, when you think about the thing that's bothering you, usually when you can get perspective, it's not that important. Are you going to remember this even next week? For 10 years, 5
Most
years,
likely
4 years,
not.
1 year? Probably not. So again, that's talking to your brain. That's a technique of getting perspective, is like literally have a conversation with your brain after you do what I just mentioned with the getting still and the journaling, no noise. Also, another really important thing is not always asking other people. Sometimes that's helpful, sometimes it's not, because sometimes we ask other people because we're looking for the answer we want to hear. That's not perspective. That's sometimes getting them to, like I said, just to confirm what you already think. But if you already don't have perspective, that's not helpful. Getting quiet and trusting your own voice gets you perspective. Yeah. Quiet, journaling.
Oh, I love quiet and journaling. Oh, journaling helps so much to get perspective.
For
And
sure.
being
For sure.
still. Being still,
Yeah.
breathe deeply and ask, is it going to bother me in 10 years? I love that. This is so good. That is something I do as well on a constant basis. It's a habit that actually can help you to transform your life. Guys, if you want some perspective, like Abby just said, ask yourself, will that shit bother me again in 10 years, in 5 years?
Right.
1
It's
year.
another thing you also learn as moms, because I remember, and I can give you an example. My daughter, I mean, she's 24 now, but when she was 4, 20 years ago, she came home from kindergarten, and I mean, she was really upset, and all of her friends in her kindergarten lived in our building. And it was, at the time, I called it like a little witchery, because they were all like very nasty. I don't know, anyone has like, they got over it, but anyone who has, like, girls that age can be very witchy sometimes. And I remember one of the other mothers saying, they're not going to remember this tomorrow. Like, I had taken it very seriously, because my oldest is a boy, and then she was my second. And I did not have experience with this. So I was like freaking out about something ridiculous, okay, that they literally forgot about. Probably the next hour, they forgot about it, but they came home crying about it, and I had no perspective. And this other mother said, they will not remember at all what you're talking about tomorrow, and in 2 hours, no idea what you're talking about. So I learned at that time the building blocks of that, of move on to something else. That was the other thing I wanted to say about perspective. You can do something that makes you laugh. You can make yourself laugh. You can put another idea into your head that then, like when you tape something over something else, you just sort of delete the other thing and you tape over it. And then you have instant perspective. You just have a new idea implanted in your head. The same way that little 4-year-old girls literally do that. It sounds funny and it sounds very trite, but I learned that through that experience. So anyway.
What works is simple. Simple.
Yeah.
Simple is the king and queen. Like, if you're trying to complicate it, it doesn't work. It's got to be simple. I ask those stupid questions, if you will, because they're so smart. Like, if you ask those smart questions, you get smart answers. If you have asking lousy question, you get lousy answer. For example, why me? Why me? You get the answer. Why you? I used to ask all the time, why me? Why me? Why it happened to me? Why just me? Instead of asking, like, okay, what can I do with it? What can I learn from it? How can I get perspective? Will that bother me in 10 years? Whoa, that is so good. I love it. Whoa, Abby, we have another winner. Veronica just purchased your book. She said it reached out to me. Thank you for writing this book. I love it. Woo! Congratulations, Veronica. This is so awesome. Those are the action takers. We have here some beautiful action takers that getting that momentum every single time. I love it. Veronica, awesome.
I love this energy. This is great. You guys are amazing, and I thank you for buying my book. And I really hope that you enjoy it. And it was a pleasure to write it. I just really, love sharing my thoughts. Love it.
You have a beautiful book there. So, of course, you're serving people right there. So, Eddie, what are your top 3 tips that you can give to our audience right here? Maybe who start to write, or maybe they wanted to put out their workshop or some content out there. Like, what is 3 top advice you can give someone to them?
Okay, so number 1, be your total authentic self. Whatever, if you're writing, you're doing workshop, or both, whatever. Don't try to be somebody else at all. I also have a workshop about that. I was teaching college students how to interview. I said, don't try to impress people, because like if someone hires you for a job, and it's the same idea here, they don't want to hire a phantom or what they think you want them to think that they are. They want you. So just be yourself. It sounds very trite and very basic, but that's what it is. Just be yourself, and with no fear. With no fear. Again,
Basic
we all have this.
is powerful. Basic is powerful.
Right. Yeah. Basic is powerful. Be yourself. Number 1. Number 2, ask questions. And this is something I also learned. I learned from all these different thought leaders, and I listened to many different people. I learned, and this is something that I've heard many people say: ask questions when you're starting something. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I remember in school also as a child asking a lot of questions, and just being very curious. Curiosity is important, and it moves the needle, as Dean Graziosi likes. Asking the question, and as you just said earlier, asking the right questions is helpful. Don't be afraid to ask questions. That's number 2. And number 3, this is something I actually learned only from writing this book, which was silence your inner critic. Okay.
Beautiful.
Reason I say that is because at a certain point, whether you're writing a book or you're developing a workshop, it needs to stop. It needs to end. You have an editor, had an editor, but I edited a lot myself too, because I'm used to be a perfectionist, and it's something I've always worked on. And I believe the exercise of writing this book, I got over that. I got over that because nothing is ever perfect, and it will never be perfect, and that's okay. That's okay. So when you really, really get in your heart okay about that idea that it's not going to be perfect, then you can go ahead and do it. You give yourself permission to do it, and you're not stopped by any fear.
Yes, do the imperfect action.
Just do it.
Action. Silence your inner critic. So good, because if you're starting with judgment, that's so destructive. It can get you down. Instead, quiet down. Like, do the imperfect action, one step at a time.
Just
Ask
do it.
questions. I love it. And be authentic to yourself. This is so, so good. Be yourself, because a lot of people try to mimic someone else, and actually you just need to be yourself, because a lot don't understand, like, what is unique about my business? What is unique about my book? What is unique about what I'm doing? Don't overthink it. You are the uniqueness. Be yourself.
Right. It's your energy. It's your energy. That's it. It's your energy. So we're all created, we're all created differently. Okay. So it doesn't even make sense to mimic anybody else. Like and also you don't see kids doing that. You don't see kids doing that. Kids don't try to, in fact, they think of it very negative. Like, she copied me. It's so funny how kids think that that's like a negative thing. It is negative to copy someone else. Isn't that interesting? It's only adults that, I think we reversed that. We messed that up. Why would you copy someone else? Why would you do that? Where do we get that idea? Why do you think that would be a good idea to do? When you think it through, you realize it doesn't make any sense to try to mimic anybody else.
You're a master at copy. we all copy. The thing is not to stay that copy zone, because if, for example, you learn how to play guitar, at first you kind of copy the songs, right? but then you learn the rhythms, then you learn how to do what to do, and then you're just on your own. So same goes here. Like, don't try to copy, be yourself, listen, learn, and implement at your way,
Right.
at your own stuff, at your own pace.
Right. Right. For sure. Being authentic, be you. There's a reason that they made billions of dollars. Just do it. Okay, Nike, just do
Yes,
it.
just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Arlene says it's totally about frequency we are tuning into. Love
For
it.
sure. For sure.
So
For
good.
sure. Yes.
I
Yes.
love it. So can you share with us what was your biggest struggle you experienced and how did you overcome it?
My biggest struggle. That car accident was pretty bad. I mean, I was 16 years old, so it was many years ago. I had a lot of, I wrote, even then I was in the hospital, I wrote, I kept a journal, and I think I had 17 roommates because I was in the hospital for 6 weeks.
Wow.
I think I learned then to tune into myself, to write my feelings down, to write my experiences. It was pretty difficult, though, with a lot of excruciating pain. It was a long time to get over it, but I kept a sense of humor. It definitely is important. So any kind of struggle that we go through or have, I think having sense of humor is important, and it's also linked to perspective, because humor helps you keep perspective. Like, this will end. Most things end, they pass, they're not forever. So that's also very helpful.
Getting the perspective, using the humor, journaling, so powerful. You went through hell with that car accident,
Yeah.
and then you rose up. You rose up than ever before, and this is incredible. You tuning into yourself. You kept that quiet. You journaled. You've been still, and you learn a lot just from being there. It's incredible.
For sure.
It's inspiring.
And also, I just want to say, and I write this in the book too, that I believe that God planted the seed of gratitude in me that night. I thought I was going to die, and thank God I didn't. And, now my whole perspective on life and people switched in that moment. I didn't realize how much it switched. I just realized it through the years. And like I said, it was 40 years. It was the culmination in November. I said, you know what? I am able to see situations in life so differently because I was given another chance. So to me, gratitude is so, it's like my right, we say like a right-hand man, like a right hand, that's what it is. It's a vessel. It's a tool to help me get through everything. You just appreciate things because you're given another chance. So
yes. Instead of asking like why it happened to me, the car accident, it happened for you to serve more, to be more, to give more, to achieve more, and help more. Like, you wrote that book out of that because with a car accident, like you mentioned, you become more grateful. Actually, instead of being like, oh my God, it happened to me. Why it happened to me? You said like, no, I'm starting to see the beauty in here.
For sure.
So
for sure. Beautiful. There's no end. There's no end to what you can do. There's no end to your gratitude. It's not, it's like vast, like oceans. It's not, you never run out of it. You're always creating it if you choose to,
Never run out.
Yeah.
Arlene says, this is why learning to cultivate your sense of humor is a must. That's so true. Yeah. That's so true. Arlene also had been through tough places, and the sense of humor kept her to actually become a laugh expert in a way. And it's so true. I love it. So, Abby, what can you share with us, like, inspiring moment you had with a client?
Inspiring moment I have with a client. Yeah, I can remember. She didn't realize how she had this aha moment. She didn't realize how creative she was. And through our questions and through the workshop, she saw that she had sort of dimmed her own light, so to speak. And one of the people that she was working with, because it was this group workshop was doing, and they broke off into pairs. So her partner sort of showed her, wow, you have this amazing capacity, you have this amazing intelligence, you have this amazing creativity. And she had not realized that. And it was really beautiful to see that. It was really, really beautiful to witness that, how someone can appreciate, and they were just working together for like 20 minutes. Okay. But it's untapped energy. You know, if you don't know what you have, it's so unfortunate. And then so she tapped into it with the help of this other person. And that was really gratifying to see and to witness. So that was very inspiring.
Wow, I love it. Arlene also said here, in the end, impossible does not exist. I love it. So let's keep on. It's so true.
So true. So true. There is no impossible. It's not, can you do it? It's, how are you going to do it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Impossible actually means I am possible. I am freaking possible. There's no impossible. It's I am possible.
That's great. That's great. That's wonderful.
I love it. So we are coming to the end of the interview. Guys, if you have any questions for Abby, now it's the time to put it in the comments. We will go through them. So Abby, I have a couple of last questions for you. If you can go back in time, what advice will you give to your younger self?
Such a great question. I love that question. I think I would say a few things. Number one would be relax. Okay, relax. It's okay. Mm-hmm. Everything's okay. Everything turns out okay. We don't have that perspective. The younger people do not have that perspective. I just told my daughter today about, she's got her exams coming up, and I said, it's okay. It's okay. She's 16. So the pressure of, this one, and I know, but I can't make her understand that. It's not important really. And ultimately, whether, you know what I'm saying? But it's just relax. Number one, relax. Number two, mistakes are opportunities.
Mistakes are opportunities. Oof, I love it.
Always be yourself. Always yourself. Do not try to ever be like anyone else or put on a show for anyone. Just be your authentic self. That's it.
Your authentic self. Don't give a shit about what other people say. Yeah, guys, I forgive me for the language, but when I'm going all in, don't give a fuck about what other people say. Like, really be yourself, your true self, because that's your uniqueness in the business. And like I said, relax. Yes, because a lot of us, when we were younger, and not that we are not so old. No one is old. Old is here. So when we are younger, like 20, 15, everything seems like the end of the world. Oh my God. And that's just bullshit. We're keeping with that brain.
Right. We're very dramatic when we're younger, and we make dramas of things. It's not, I don't know, you could call it, you can say age, time, hormones, it's inexperience in life. I just think it's inexperience. And so decision-making is such a big deal, which is why sense of humor is very important also as a parent, because you need to be able to just yourself chill out and say, all right, they're having a drama moment. It's not my moment, though. It's not my moment. I can help them. And that's how you can also, again, model perspective, because you're not getting sucked into their drama. So that's important.
Because it's not about us. It's about them. It's also applying for business. When you write, it's not about you. It's about them. When you are doing your courses, it's not about you. It's about them. When you're a coach, again, it's not about you. It's about them. Everything that you're doing that helps others, it's not about you. It's about them. Ooh, so
and
good.
It's so true, because in any kind of company setting, again, I said this before, you're trying to get something done, your team, whatever, cut the drama. Cut the, people say office politics, which there's less of now because there's not more people working at home and online, but you can still have politics. And I always thought, also when I was younger, I used to work on Capitol Hill, and I saw that stuff going on, all the different places I worked. Politics, office politics, that's usually just drama. That's usually just someone making a big deal about nothing and their ego getting in the way. So you just cut that all out. Just cut it out. Kind of like you cut off the fat from chicken. cut off the skin from an orange. Just cut it off. Cut it out. That's it.
Cut a drum out. Cut a drum out, because we usually do from a little ant this huge elephant. And actually, also an elephant, you can eat with one bite. You eat one bite at a time. No one wants to eat an elephant. But yeah, okay, you get what I mean. Like, you eat one bite at a time of that elephant and use that sense of humor.
Right.
Definitely. Oh, that's so good. So if you had a chance to deliver the one message that will stay written in history, what will it be?
You are enough. It's not even my message.
Enough.
I can't take total credit for that. That is Marissa Peer. She's the top therapist, I believe, in England. I am enough is an affirmation to say. And so I'm going to cite her for that one, because it is so true. When you walk around saying, I am enough, look in the mirror, I am enough. Mel Robbins, high five yourself in the mirror. Yes. These are not mine. I am incorporating them. They're all related, though, to the relax. They're all related, because when you relax, you can do all those things. You can do all those things.
Exactly. When you're relaxed, when you're saying, I am enough. So I, for example, every single morning when I wake up, I look at the mirror. It sounds ridiculous, but I look at the mirror and I'm shouting, I love you, man. Yeah. Every single morning. I say, I just love you. You look at you. You're awesome. Like, that's giving self-love and putting the mask first to give more.
That's right. That's right. That's right. High five the mirror. The same thing. You're great. You know, it's yeah. Because you know what? It's also it's true also for in entrepreneurship and in sales. If you don't do that, why is someone else going to buy your thing? If you don't feel that about yourself, you're not going to make someone else do it. It's very fundamental. It's very self-love.
That will happen. Yes.
Self-love. Yeah. Because you're it. That's it. Yeah.
You got to give some self-love and some high five. High five here.
High five yourself. That's right. That's right. For sure. Exactly. Absolutely.
Oh, I love it. You are enough. Guys, you are enough. You are more than enough. Give some love to yourself. Put your oxygen mask first, that you can give more. Because, for example, if you're on a flight, if you don't put the oxygen mask first, when you put it to the one that next to you, guess what? You won't made it to put that oxygen mask to the other person. If it's your daughter, if it's your father, if it's your mother, if it's your kid, you won't be able to help them because you will faint. So instead, you put up your oxygen mask first. You are enough. Love yourself. I love myself. And then you can give more, serve more, be more, achieve more, do more.
Absolutely. You are just connected. You're more connected. You're connected to yourself. Because how you can connect. It's like in our DNA. It's in our DNA to connect to ourselves. And again, once again, I return all the time to mothering. You see that with babies. You don't, like Marissa Peer says, you don't see babies saying, oh, I don't know if I should spit up. I don't know if my mom's going to like that, or I'm not sure I should cry. They're not doing that. They are just being themselves. That's it. They are who they are, and the world is going to cater to them or not. You know? When do we lose that? We don't need to lose that. We can just say, I'm enough all the time. I'm not a baby anymore. I'm still enough. And I'm going to get what I need, because I'm going to figure out a way to get it. And then when I get what I need, then like you say, then I can give it to other people. It's very, very basic.
Yeah, it's very basic. Because if you don't give love to yourself and you want to bring your child or your people that you give service, your clients, other people, your family, you want to give love, you want to lift them up, but you're here. How can you bring them here? You can't. You just can't. That's why you got to bring yourself even here to give them more, bring them more, give more, be more, achieve more. Arlene says here, I smile big and blow kisses to myself in the mirror as I make cute, funny faces, engraving that belief in becoming. Oh, I love it. That is so awesome. Give kisses to yourself. High fives.
Great. That's great. That's great. I love that. I love that.
Well, I mean, I just love our conversation. We went beyond the time, but damn, it's so amazing to have you here. So before we go, how can people know more about you, get more about you? Well, some of them already bought your book right now, and there will be a link to your book in the description below. So how they can know more about you?
So you can definitely go to my website, which is www. Is there a way I can write it, or I can just say
I
it?
will put it. I will put it in the description below. Your website, everything will be there.
Okay.
So
So
they
yeah,
can go
just
to your website and to your book. There are more ways to connect with you and get to you.
you can find me on LinkedIn, my email, abbydishi@gmail.com, LinkedIn, Facebook. I have Facebook. I also have two professional pages, Abby Creative Coaching and also Abby Creative Sparks. So
Oh,
I
you're
can write everything down.
everywhere. You're all over the place.
Instagram, yeah. So yes, I'm looking forward to connecting with everybody, and I will be doing more Facebook Lives, and I also teach this, as I mentioned before, I teach this workshop to moms about how to go through all those different facets and transfer your skill to the workplace.
Oh, so good. Abby, it was great to have you here. I'm really grateful for your time. And guys, I'm grateful for you for being here. Invest your time with us today. Let us know, what was your golden nuggets from today? We will love to know. Comment below. Let us know, what was your golden nuggets from today? And again, Abby, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Veronica says, thank you so much. I love your smile. Thank you, Eden, for inviting us. Oh, thank you so much, Veronica. You're amazing. Everybody, you're amazing being here. Thank you for being here. Again, let us know, what was your golden nuggets from today. And let's keep that momentum growing. I will put everything that you can actually reach out, Abby, and know more about her workshop and her book. And if you want also to associate with more like-minded people, with actually lift yourself up, rise to the best version of yourself, getting that perspective, getting that momentum, join us into the Rise Up group. We are helping one another to rising up. And again, Abby, so great to have you here.
Thank you so much, Aiden. It was really my pleasure to be here. It's just great, and I really enjoyed every second of it. I love your energy. I love your questions. I love people in the group, and I'm so happy that we had this time. So I look forward to more and sharing with you guys, and this was great. Blessings to everybody. Thank you.
Blessings to everybody. Guys, thank you for being here. If you like it, share it, like it, subscribe. Love the energy. Abby, again, thank you, guys. I will see you next time. Keep on going. Keep on growing.
Thank you, and take care. And see you guys. Bye-bye.